Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the one and the only, often imitated, never duplicated, Rumboyz Fantasy Network, and this is Rumboyz After Dark. Right now, it's looking like we're probably going to run a duo. We'll see what's going to happen throughout the night. It is Rumboyz After Dark, and literally, motherfucking anything can happen. There's going to be no holds barred tonight, but first, Pat, as always, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to St. Pat FF, the patron saint of fantasy football. What's going on?
Life is good. It is Friday night. Got back from vacation. I missed you guys last week. I hope you guys had a happy St. Patrick's Day. I know I did.
I had a very ratchet St. Patrick's Day.
I heard stories, and due to legal reasons, we're not allowed to discuss that on air.
No. Let's pay it. Let's pay the bills really quick. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm rocking my GLD chain. I got my Dodgers joint. There's what the Packers one looks like. The homie that was on last week, Jordan, who won the Rumboyz Fantasy League, he donned his Chiefs one halfway through the show. Every single team, you got to get on over there. Check out all of our products over at shopgld.com. Link is in the description. Copy and paste that thing, or either just DM one of us, and we will get you the link as soon as possible. Really quick, promo from the homies over at shopgld.com.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Shop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, when you're not.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it going. Want to give a big shout out to our homies over at Pro Football Focus, launching the most lit fantasy football format, all 22. Promo code Rumboyz. Take 40% off the subscription price, where you get exclusive coaches film, exclusive looks at mock drafts, where you on this fantasy football format can challenge your friends into a league where you guys get to draft a full 53-man roster. We're talking linemen, we're talking kickers, we're talking punters, we're talking special teams, the whole 9 yards. You're setting formations, you're doing the whole damn thing. Shout to PFF, shout to all 22. And then also, guys, got to download Champions Round. A lot of hot things going on, sizzling over there at Champions Round. You guys got to check out our sizzling slates. Check out our sevens. Let's see. Our daily dozens is really dope. Daily dozens is awesome. $12 entry. Get you if you get 7 out of 12 picks right off your $12 entry, your ROI is $2,500. Get on over there, the Champions Round. Let's do this. Let's do this. Sick graphic. Hell yeah, Browns. Jamie, I figured once you saw that it was a Browns graphic that you were going to be stoked right away. We are going to talk some Browns later on. Surprisingly, Pang, what up? Pang. Somebody jump in the Discord, tell everybody that we're live. I kind of tweeted like a little bit late. Yo, Pat, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls want to do. Dilly I love this hoodie. Really quick, I love this hoodie because they threw a Modelo can in the middle for like the eye. Yeah. Love it. Shout out to the missus for hooking me up with that.
So can I tell you what happened last night? So last night I am doing a work bowling league. Mm-hmm. I live in Michigan, so Michigan State game's on. It's sent to overtime as we're finishing up the last frame. I had an order in for Buffalo Wild Wings across town. Drove across town. Got there at the very last second of overtime for the last possession of the game. So bars packed out the wazoo. Everyone and their mothers there. People with state decals on their cars, like you can't find parking for shit. Walk in there, walk to the mobile order area, and I just watch Michigan State turn the ball over, down by the energy in this place dropped immediately. They didn't even get the last shot,
bro.
It's like you can miss the last shot. You can deal with that. They didn't even get the ball up,
bro. I love going into places like that, and just you could just cut the tension with a knife when like the hometown team just gets fucking booted. I love that.
And I'm like, do I cash out my parlay that had Michigan State losing and UConn winning? And I was like, I'm going to do that. And then the other two legs of it fell off at the end, so it's all worth it.
So it worked out perfect. I love it. Exactly. Coming back with money is coming back with money. That's how we beat the books. Let's get into tonight's show. The Carolina Panthers have been making some sneakily okay moves. It definitely looks like that they're putting together a real football team here that could possibly compete, a competent football team that could possibly compete in a very confuddled NFC South. They pick up DJ Chark today. They grab Thielen at his old age. They got Hayden Hurst at tight end, Miles Sanders, the running back. What are your thoughts on this team? Thielen has said, hey, I chose this place because I feel like this is where I could go and get a Super Bowl. I think that's cap. What are your thoughts?
It's cap from Thielen. But that team is actually good. Let's break down that team, because we kept hearing, they don't have any weapons to throw to. They don't have any wide receivers. They don't have any tight ends worth anything. That team has pieces though. They were the ninth worst team in the league. Not absolutely terrible, but they weren't god fucking awful. This team returns all 5 starting offensive linemen. Okay. That sounds pretty good for a first-round quarterback. This team has a strong defense with a great secondary. Sounds pretty good to me. I want that for my number 1 overall pick quarterback that I traded up to. Throw up those weapons again.
Got you. 1 second. Let me get back to that graphic. So this is what just some of the offensive weapons that they've accomplished as of today. Shout out to the homies over at PFF getting this graphic over to us.
You add Hayden Hurst, who is consistent, a strong tight end, a first-round picks quarterback's friend. You add Adam Thielen, who's a safe target, who is a veteran presence, who has experience working with a range of quarterbacks. You add DJ Chark, who has been around and helped ends. He's played for multiple different quarterbacks, including first-round quarterbacks. You had Miles Sanders, who can do a little bit of everything and is explosive out of the backfield. You've now taken a team that is ready for the first overall pick. I would say when the Panthers made that trade with the Bears, they were not ready as a team for that first overall pick. They weren't prepared to fully surround whoever it chooses to be, whether it be Stroud, Young,
whatever the fuck they're going to do. Yeah.
Whoever it's going to be. And I think the Panthers are in a much better spot where I trust their process here. Yeah. I'm seeing the pieces and it's making sense. Now, does that mean that they win the division this year? Probably not. Like,
I mean, well, you have a guy who's coming into his sophomore year, and Ritter on the other side. Baker Mayfield is in this division, and I mean, yeah, he's getting upgrade offense, but I mean, he has to be able to show that he can play competent football.
Oh, one more piece. Their backup quarterback. Do you remember who they signed?
Oh fuck.
Little Ginger.
Andy Dalton. Yep, Andy Dalton.
They've got a veteran presence. They have a veteran quarterback who has played with a range of other starting quarterbacks. He's learned how to be a backup. He's learned how to.
And if you're, to your point, I just want to toss this in there, Pat. You're creating a friendly quarterback competition.
It doesn't even have to be a competition because you know what? Andy Dalton doesn't need all the reps in practice. So you can say, go take all the first team reps. He's going to sit there and he's going to do. Andy Dalton's going to do his thing, and he's going to coach you up on the sideline as well. And he's there to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
And if you're not actually ready, he can step in for a few games to cover that.
I feel like that it is a. I keep using the adjective competent because I feel like that's what you're doing here. You know, in your quarterback room, it's Andy Dalton, potentially C.J. Stroud, and then Corral. You know, who's already been there, and you know, they had drafted him, you know, fairly early. You know, still yet to know what he's going to be made of. You know, so you got a veteran who's going to teach all these guys, but then you can also breed a little bit of a friendly, like I said, quarterback competition. You've put weapons around so where whoever steps in underneath center.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good, solid weapons. It's a team. They are literally building a team. After the moves that they've made, I am willing to bold prediction state that this could be either 1 or 2 in that division. I'm willing to say that they could be 1 or 2. If they can just gel enough. I'm not going to say that they all got to be best friends, but if they can gel enough and have enough chemistry in this short amount of time they have to build it, I don't see why not.
I'm safe to say they win at least 7 games.
Isn't Blackshear behind Sanders now? And Hubbard.
Hubbard's 2. Blackshear's probably 3.
Blackshear will be 3. Yeah, so you're solid. You're so solid.
You have some options to bring in another wide receiver in the draft in the second round. Whether that be like a Downs or why am I blanking on wide receiver names? I feel like there's a few guys that we think are going to be first round wide receivers that could easily drop to like pick 40 where they're at, and all of a sudden that's looking like a good spot, a place that you can develop with a young rookie quarterback.
I mean, I
also
to kind of refer to my own team here, but I mean, look at what Washington did last year, where everyone was like, "Yeah, they're going to go and they're going to get like one of the most explosive guys on the gut," and then we went and we got Dots, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" But then it panned out. You know, top five kid against man coverage in the NFL. You got to fucking love that. Reclamation project, Laviska Shenault, blood. Jet sweeps. You now open up jet sweeps. What's good, Albert? Deadly, my homie.
Laviska Shenault is dead for me in fantasy forever and ever. Amen.
I could St. Pat.
Also,
amen.
Fuck Tommy Tremble. Fuck Tommy Tremble.
Amen.
Shouldn't even be in the league.
Yo,
how is that man Tommy Tremble in the league? He's god awful,
dude. How is Tommy Tremble in the league? And Thaddeus Moss never got any opportunities, any fucking looks. Like, bro, that's
Didn't he get drafted?
They're basically the same guy. They're basically the same guy.
Didn't he get drafted by the Bengals?
No, he was a Bengal. He was with Washington, and then we released him. We got him after the draft, like day after. Like he was he was a UDFA. And I know. No, but I think that they're building a very sound team in Carolina. It's a very stout team. I'm excited. You brought up the defense. You have a very, very, very stout defense. So I'm super, super interested. They still have Ian Thomas warming up the bench. Ian, who never fucking lived up to expectations. Thomas. My gosh. You want to talk about guys that will absolutely fucking annoy me? Is Ian Thomas is one of those tight ends.
Wait, I'm surprised no one's brought up Terrence Marshall yet.
Right? Wow. Yeah.
He might of any of these names that could be thrown out as being something in this offense, Terrence Marshall is the only one that I'm interested in.
Because you know what? You bring up a valid point there, Pat, because somebody is going to unexpectedly emerge. There's always a diamond in the rough. And speak of diamonds in the roughs, I feel like that this team, even with all the pieces offensively that we just mentioned, fantasy football gems. I feel like that there are fantasy football gems on this roster that are all going to be mid-6th round and lower picks that you can grab. DJ Shark, like nobody's rushing to go.
Miles Sanders is going to be in the running back dead zone. I feel like he's going to be my running back guy this year. I waited to the 6th round to get my running back 2 because the first round is jam-packed of wide receivers because it's so top-heavy in this league right now. I will. If I'm at that 5-6 turn, yeah. Of course, I'm guesstimating where I think he's going to go right now, March 24th, 2023, the year of our Lord. But it is.
He's claiming, you're riding with your name, and I'm loving it.
But like we've got like we have a solid 5 months. We have 150 days to we really get into redraft season. Now, of course, I know people like Pang are playing best ball, and he knows all the draft, and he may know all that stuff, but I know where the hot single ladies are in my area. So, with that being said, right now I'm just going to assume that I'm going to take Miles Sanders at the end of the 5th, early 6th round.
I mean, hell, the 1,000-year celibacy ban is lifted, so I mean, fuck it.
I don't care if I'm not allowed to take communion anymore. I'm taking Miles Sanders in the 6th round, baby.
I am loving this. I'm editing that for TikTok. That is gonna go fucking viral. Let's keep it from kind of segueing. So speaking of a former Carolina QB, my brother, we're gonna talk about this brother here. Cameron Newton, Superman. He had his pro day, 2 days ago, about 48-ish hours ago, 72-ish hours ago. Some highlights came out. He looked pretty decent, did a whole hell of a lot of running around. Ultimately sparked a shit ton of social media debates of whether or not we should keep pro days or just completely get rid of them. A lot of people not understanding the point of pro days, which is you and I will be able to help iron out those issues here on the show, whether we agree with that. Cam also stated controversially, there's not 32, and I quote, motherfuckers better than him. I feel like everyone that started last year, that out of those 32 motherfuckers are better than him. What are your thoughts? Are there 32 motherfuckers better than Cameron Newton?
Why don't you go first on this one, since I took the last one first?
Bro,
I'll build off.
There's definitely 32 fucking quarterbacks better than the Taylor Heineke, who played behind Cam Newton in Carolina, is better than Cam Newton. Heineke right now is better than Newton right now. If I was getting back that old school, that old thing, if I got that old thing back, then yes, cool. Give me that Superman. I am willing to have that Superman. But bro, I can't even bring you in on a vet deal to be a locker room guy because you're so about yourself that I don't want you poisoning the rest of my quarterback room. So from a character standpoint, I think that you're not good to be around a locker room. I don't feel like that you're willing to teach other young cats in the locker room and within the organization. So that's first off. I don't want you in my locker room. Second off, I don't know if in today's NFL you can still run a fucking playbook. So I don't want you on my field. If he was willing to be a backup and if he was willing to be a leader in a backup role, I'm fine. He's too selfish. He's too about him.
What did we see roughly 18 months ago as we prepared for the 2021 football season out of Cam Newton? We saw selfishness. We saw him assuming that he was keeping the role as the New England Patriots starting quarterback. What did he do that was selfish? Vaccine controversy. He put himself ahead of the team there and how the coaches viewed him. He put himself ahead of the other quarterbacks when he went missing for like 2 weeks. Now, there's reports of whether or not people knew about it or whatnot. But regardless of if the team knew about it, it hurt his standing. And it gave Mac Jones a chance. And what do we see from Mac Jones? Mac Jones is probably like the 25th best quarterback in the league right now. And he clearly won that job from Cam Newton, leading to his release. So you're going to tell me, Cameron Newton, that you are better than all 32 starting quarterbacks, or any of those starting quarterbacks, and probably more than more than a dozen or 2 dozen backups? I don't think so. There's no, you're not having played limited snaps in 2 years on the goal line. Sure, bring him in, have him in for special packages, but am I wasting a spot in the 53 for that?
I'll keep it controversial, bro. To go with what you're saying, I'd rather bring in Cat and at least sell seats for a PR stunt. At least he'll get me marketing dollars. Does Cam even have a brand anymore? Like, is there even a brand there? Can you even market that?
I'd rather bring in Tebow.
I can market Tebow.
If I'm looking at someone to come into a goal line offense, when he returned to the Panthers in 2021, he had that special game where he scored 2 touchdowns on his first 2 plays. And I'm back, and it's like, okay, you did 2 plays, and then the lights turned off, and you realize it wasn't Cam Newton. It wasn't 15-1 Cam Newton who lost in the Super Bowl. It was Superman in a fat suit. He was good for 2 plays and just fucking ran out of gas.
Do you think that all right, let's just pick a roster. Let's just pick a random bottom of the barrel roster. Who would you say is bottom of the barrel after all the moves that have taken place? Tennessee. Let's say Tennessee Titans. Let's say Anthony Richardson, Cam Newton. Who do you think? If you're the GM or if you're the coach, you're in the midst of a quarterback competition. Week 1's coming up. You need to make a decision, and your press conference is coming up in the next 2 minutes, and you haven't made a decision yet. You got to go. 3, 2. Go, Pat.
Richardson.
Oh, I love it.
We're going with the.
I was going to say the same thing.
We're going with the youth. We know what Cam Newton is, and we know what Cam Newton is not. And the reality is, with Richardson, we have just as much athleticism, if not more. And I want to see him grind out and have the desire to win. And I think Anthony Richardson is going to do that and go out there and try and win. Cam Newton's going to go out there and try and make Cam Newton.
And I'm getting younger arm strength versus older arm strength. I mean, this goes after a while. You know, I mean, how many pitchers have we seen, you know, that like after just they're needing Tommy John? I'd rather take the young guy who has a young gun, who has a cannon. And then his body can probably take a little bit more in today's game.
It feels like after having set out the entire 2022 season.
What up, Matt?
It feels like Cam Newton might be missing something. And he's unafraid to say it, but he needs it. And it rhymes with honey. He needs some shmoney.
He needs some shmoney.
I think he might be like he needs some money. No one's talking about that.
Is he in that Wesley Snipes position? Is he another Wesley Snipes 2.0?
Like he needs to come back. He needs to be in the league because he needs that payday, whether it be the vet minimum or not. He needs that money.
Yeah, I don't think that it's all about.
He got the free health insurance and that care. But he's got a standard of living, I think, that he's grown accustomed to, and he's realized after playing limited snaps the last 2 years, maybe I don't have what I think I do in the.
Someone. Yo, give me Lev Bell versus Cam Newton. I'll sign up for that shit.
Yeah, go try like make a mixtape. Do some other shit, like join WWE or some shit.
Right? Yeah, Cam Newton is a WWE style.
He knows how to take a hit.
Ain't
like
that
let his ego like help him out. But then again, back to your point, he doesn't have a brand anymore. What has Cam Newton been doing in the last 2 years to build himself up as a brand of I need to have a role?
He's not even he's not even doing social media. Like he's not even doing content, bro. Like
So like,
bro,
yeah, why isn't he doing that? Why isn't he on TikTok? Why isn't he doing anything? Why isn't he podcasting? Why isn't it's so easy to? How many people would actually listen to Cam Newton talk podcast and relive stories and go and
Cam Newton, come on with us. Come on with us.
Tell all. No,
come
he's
on
not
with
coming on
us
with
and
us. I
invest
just
in us.
bashed him.
And we'll
I
help.
bashed him and called him poor. I bashed him and called
I
him
am
poor.
going Garcia, Matt. I am going Garcia. Look, really quick. I'll answer this take. I'll answer this take really fucking fast. Okay. When you try and, I think that is absolutely pussification of the sport of boxing to be like, hey yo, I want to put in a dehydration clause, and I wanted to fight you at 136. Tank is afraid to fight Ryan at his true status. And then Tank not being getting kicked out of the Mayweather gym. Like, bro, how do you get kicked out of the Mayweather gym? And like you're supposed to be the next big thing in boxing. Why? Because you're probably getting into too much trouble and causing too many problems and probably showing up to practice drunk. Because Tank has been on a bit of a drinking bender lately. Give me Garcia. Give me Garcia. And I'm not even trying to ride with Oscar De La Hoya's ass where he's like, I think that Garcia's just going to is just going to walk through him. I don't think that that's the case. But I think that Garcia is faster and has equal amount of power as Tank, or just enough power to be able to drop Tank in the 6th. Lock it in. I'm at the market, and my God, inflation is no joke, bro. I just bought some groceries today, and holy fuck, my G. Go to Destroying's videos. Cam Newton has been in some of Destroying's vids. He has been in some of Destroying's vids, but don't be in someone else's videos. Cam Newton has a brand where he should be fucking doing his own shit. Weekend Weed saying Garcia, I'm gonna have to go back to selling photos of my butthole to afford food. Fuck. Well, you live in San Fran. You just need to move states, bro. I was with Tank at first, but everyone's underestimating Garcia. When everyone just starts underestimating a certain guy like that who's at that level, you kind of think about it. I compared to how everyone underestimated the Detroit Lions, but like this YouTube channel was like, yo, no, like they're gonna be good. Like, no, they're gonna improve. Like, no, they are improving. The same thing we did with the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, we're going to probably find a team this year that's going to be a diamond in the rough. We're going to be like, yeah, no, you need to look out. Who knows? It could be Carolina.
Atlanta Falcons.
We've been beating that drum for a hot minute. I think that we're locking in on the Falcons for here soonish. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be an NFC South team. It's that time.
Yeah, we did kind of talk about it. I feel like it is going to be Stroud. Stroud going number 1. We mentioned it a lot. I just think that it's Stroud. What about you, bro?
That's where I'm kind of landing right now. Is it's Stroud. I like the narrative of the Richardson going to Carolina, like the same body type as Cam Newton, and just Cam Newton 2.0. But it's.
But okay.
But I don't think the NFL is ready to say, hey, I just risked 2 first-round picks and a couple other accessory picks and DJ Moore to move up to get a mobile quarterback like that.
The Giants went and got Daniel Jones, and no one saw that, and everyone thought they were stupid for that. You bring up a good point from a betting standpoint, from a future standpoint. You bring it with your Anthony Richardson take. I'd throw 5 on it.
Sure. I'm just hesitant to say that the Panthers are going to take someone like Richardson. I feel like Stroud and Young are so much farther ahead in terms of football knowledge and technical football ability that they are ready to step in day one with an NFL franchise. Anthony Richardson does not feel that way to me.
No.
I feel like athletically he could be what Josh Allen is. And many within the fantasy community are saying, hey, a lot of teams missed on Josh Allen and they diminished what he was going to be because they looked at completion percentage. They looked at simple raw college stats to not tell the full story on Josh Allen. and that's helping Richardson's draft stock, but it's not enough to say he's going to go over Heisman winning quarterbacks.
For me, it's Stroud. And I've been saying it since day one. I'm going to stick with it. But, hey, man, you brought up a very, 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 very valid point.
All three, I think, have concerns, and they have red flags. And it's how can they be coached out of them?
Hopkins needs to come home, guys. It was a funny prank, a long prank. Hopkins will never wear that jersey that's behind Pat ever again. I'll cut that one short and sweet for you, Matt. I'm sorry. Hopkins needs to fucking find a job. You want to talk about that situation real quick, bro? That's just getting messy.
I feel like we're waiting for a trade to drop. And he's not going to be playing for Arizona.
No.
We know that. Arizona knows that. It's just a matter of time. But I don't think Arizona's going to get the compensation that they think that they can out of him.
The fact that he doesn't have, I'll go ahead and I'll say it, and it's going to drop jaws for those that have been following me for a long time and really, really know me. The fact that he doesn't have a fucking star on the side of his head right now already is mind-boggling. Completely mind-boggling. The fact that he doesn't have a star or either a Patriot on the side of his helmet right now as we're doing this show, I can't believe it. I really cannot believe it. The Patriot thing I'm getting because they're out. If that would have been a move they would have done if Brady was still there. Yeah. But fuck, I mean, you lose Myers, you lose Myers, and you lose Aguilar. You've lost Jonnu. At some point, you have to bring in something to help mac and cheese. You need a side dish. You need a main course.
I don't think it's Hopkins for them though. It doesn't fit Bill. We've seen him when they brought in Randy Moss and what that can do, but I don't think he's doing that again.
Yeah.
The problem that we're really running into is now that we're roughly a week and a half, 2 weeks into free agency, who's got the money? I think we forget how cap-strapped a lot of teams are. And teams are in this constant restructuring phase just to make enough money to pull together these $3-4 million contracts. Every team's making a restructure deal and pushing that cap farther and farther out. So yes, the cap's imaginary, but we're ending up. There's so much. All right, rant time. With Rick. The dead cap issue in the NFL is way worse than anyone is ready to admit. The amount of dead cap money of paying players that are not playing the game and are not playing for that team and are strapping teams for cash due to it and due to the limits that the cap puts on the teams is absolutely terrible for the league. You have this cap that's growing each year, but yet no team is actually playing with a roster of 53 that comes close to that actual cap number because it's all previous players that are owed money that aren't even on the roster anymore.
Yeah.
Or money that they're not even allowed to touch because it's dead cap because they cut someone to avoid paying them even more to be on the team. So
valid.
The cap doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter. It's not relative to any actual number that we see on the football field. And this is frustrating as a fan. So you get teams you get teams that are putting out $150 million team out there compared to teams that are putting out $200 million on the team, and you're running the same thing as a much more high level team balance. Like it doesn't make sense. It's hurting the sport, and I don't know how they fix it at this point.
It needs to be like baseball has, or like the NBA. We've voiced this before. This sport doesn't do nearly enough to take care of his players, especially after the sport is over. I always say that NFL and UFC are the worst organizations when it comes to take care of guys after. So no, I mean you're right. Like that big portion of teams trying to stay underneath the cap, especially to pay guys that aren't no longer on the team anymore, because of some specific reasons. I mean, you bring up a very, 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 very valid point there. Matt,
the idea of void years, like what the hell? What the hell is void years? It's unnecessary. It's a accounting little loophole that is terrible for the sport because it keeps pushing off these problems and making them progressively worse as the cap doesn't grow at the same rate that they're hoping it does.
I like that. Let's see here. Matt asks, Pat, you're a Packers fan. Are you ready for the love shack? The love shack. Yo, that's a good. We're using that when he plays.
I'm down with that.
That's baller. That's baller. And also, what do you think that you guys do at 13? Take it away.
They don't have 13 yet. 13 is currently the New York Jets pick.
Oh, Pat, do you think y'all want that 13th pick? Is what he's asking. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. And if the Packers don't get that one, they'll get the 20, whatever the 24 is, plus something more.
The sauce ain't going nowhere.
I'm seeing Packers fans being like, "Just make the deal already. Just make the deal." No, like the leverage is in their side. Packers are okay with Aaron Rodgers retiring. They're okay with Aaron Rodgers sitting the fucking bench. They don't need to make this deal. They have it built into the cap still for Aaron Rodgers to be on this team. And what's gonna matter most when push comes to shove, and the Jets have to make a decision? Do we want Zach motherfucking Wilson throwing to Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard? Or do we want Aaron Rodgers, 4-time MVP, throwing to Garrett Wilson and leading this offense?
My points at that, my points to that real quick, bro. Like, it's so much more better for both parties
to get that deal done.
Well, yes, to get the deal done, but to do it closer to draft day, or if not, like on draft day, because you want to then become the talk of the town, and you want your news to be bigger than any other news that any other teams are going to make. No other teams besides, of course, the Baltimore Ravens have a quarterback left on the board that is going to be so blockbuster that it'll literally probably be the only fucking thing that's talked about for the whole 3 days of the draft weekend. So it's better for the Packers and it's better for the Jets to unload that bombshell draft night.
I think if you're the Jets, though, you want the advantage of having Aaron Rodgers in town.
You want that,
you want to build that. That I'm having your quarter. You're having your
advantage.
You don't want to give that to them, which is why they have the leverage right now. When push comes to shove, Packers may move at the last minute to get that 13th pick if that's on the board and that's the offer, but that doesn't matter on March 24th. That pick is still liquid until draft day, which you can find us on draft day right here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network.
No, we're definitely saying that he's worth the 13th. Holy shit.
I can see it being a first and a third or a conditional third. Or, like, there's going to be so much messiness to this deal of what does conditional picks look like, because you have someone at the top of the sport. Should he put up MVP numbers? Should he take them to a division? Should they win a conference championship? Like, there's going to be those things built into the trade where the Packers will get more back. should the Jets do as well as they hope to do.
I'm with that.
But this opens when that trade happens, it'll open a 2-year window for the Jets. While Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and a plethora of their defense are still on their rookie deals and are not yet negotiating for those big paydays.
That is an interesting question. Are you pissed or at peace? I feel like I know the answer. I'm ready to hear.
I've been at peace for a while.
I thought so. Yeah.
It's watching him last year was rough. Having just been in Wisconsin and the Green Bay area over the last week, the area feels at peace with it.
I don't think that anyone would not clap for him when he comes back to Lambeau to play. I don't.
It's going to be if I haven't looked at the schedule or what's supposed to happen for the schedule, but if the Jets are coming to Green Bay, it's
right.
I'm not worried about it. It'll be he'll end up having his number retired and he'll be on the. It's all going to be good. It's going to be okay. And what people forget to realize is that the Packers went through this with Favre, and Favre's decision came so late.
Yeah,
his was July, August, training camp. I want to come play, and then it's dude, we have even teams. It's that recess mentality. Where are you playing? It's but I'm great. I'm Brett Favre, but it's where? He's our quarterback now.
I'm not going to be as I don't know if the Jets will or will not win anything with Rodgers. I say that it definitely increases the fuck out of their chances. I think that Packers fans will kind of how Patriots fans were with Brady when Brady went to Tampa. It was very much they still loved Tom and it was still a lot of appreciation for Tom. I think that you're gonna kind of see that same thing transcend just because the Packers love their guys. They this is not a fan base that really does a whole. They're not Eagles fans. This isn't. We're not talking about the Eagles fan base here. If we were talking about the Eagles fan base, they're gonna shit on fucking Miles Sanders. That's a thing. They shit on their guys once they leave. I don't think the Packers aren't like that. They're so classy. They're classy.
It's a different level. It's a different level of sports fan. It's an appreciation for the sport, and that comes with the history of the team there.
Yeah.
When players are at restaurants, they don't get bombarded. People recognize them, and they give them space. Going back to your point about an Eagles player gets recognized out in public.
Hey, yo, fuck you fucking cocksucker. Yeah.
You made a mistake. You missed the block, and you're not going to get that in Green Bay.
Eagles fans are the guys that message players after a game, you fucked up my parlay. I don't give a fuck about your parlay. I'm sitting here hurting in an ice bath.
I can tell stories of my brother-in-law. They did a gender reveal at Monday Night Football back in 2018, for the birth of my niece. And after the game, they're sitting outside the stadium, ready to walk around because they went out the gate on the other side. And one of the Packers Hall of Famers, I can't remember who it was coming out of the stadium at the same time and stopped and talked to them. And they're gave him hey, we appreciate everything you've done for this town. It's so great to meet you and get to share this with you. We just did this and we're so happy we just got married here and we got to do all these things. And football culture is so important there. And yes, it's important for a lot of other teams and a lot of other sports fans.
Yeah.
But it's a different level. It's a different level of respect for the game itself, where they can talk with Lions fans and say, let's have an honest conversation about football. Yes, our teams don't like each other, but at the end of the day, we like football, so let's talk about the Cowboys. Let's talk about Barry Sanders, how great he was, because we can have an honest respect for how great he is. And man, we wish we drafted him at number 2 that year. We made a huge mistake. Those are the conversations you have with Green Bay fans. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the Rodgers situation, there's going to be a sour taste in people's mouths for a little bit. they'll get over it. There'll be vocal fans on Twitter making stupid shit, and they'll get likes and they'll get reactions out of people. But at the end of the day, it's more people are outside of Green Bay hate Aaron Rodgers than people in Green Bay.
I agree with that take. Matt, we're going to discuss that on the second half of the show. We do have 15 minutes left within the first hour here, so I do want to make sure that we do feature our cover athlete of the night. Shout out to Drop the Mic FF. Happy birthday to your missus from the Rumboyz. We appreciate you, dilly. But as Mike always does great artwork, it always puts us in a position to talk about our featured covered athlete of the night. Tonight's featured covered athlete is no other than Elijah Moore, who we have been very vocal on, who never really got, and I love that we're segueing from the Jets into, more and more. With that being said and being stated, we stated that he's never really got a fair shake in New York. He now goes from the high-ass tax bracket of New York, gets to go to a cheaper place in Cleveland, plays alongside an excellent route runner in Amari Cooper, who can, they both are great route runners. We'll have Deshaun Watson as his QB, the Predator. What are our thoughts? Does Moore's fantasy value now become appealing? Does Cleveland hold fantasy stock as we talk right now on tonight's episode on March 24th of 2023?
This definitely helps Cleveland. Like Elijah Moore is a competent wide receiver. Last Thursday, reception perception came out on Elijah Moore's 2022 season. And going into 2022, Elijah Moore was supposed to have that breakout year. He started at the end of 2021 until he got injured, and it was looking like he was a top 10 wide receiver during his breakout weeks. And it was like, okay, Elijah Moore is ready to take that leap. He's going to come back from injury. Jets added Garrett Wilson. It's going to be a great thing for the Jets. They're going to have 2-star wide receivers. Who's going to be the actual best wide receiver there was an actual conversation that we had. And Elijah Moore just disappeared. No injury. No.
I think it's because of quarterbacks, though, not him. I don't think it was his fault. Well, you're going to get a reception perception.
Yeah. There's talks of him wanting to get traded out of New York. Wants out, tired of the team, was in the coach's doghouse from day one. Reminds me of Brandon Ayuk after his rookie season. But the difference was...
Yes, Leafs.
Ayuk turned it around mid-season 2. Elijah Moore never made anything out of his return and out of his playing time.
Is that because Ayuk took the initiative to develop chemistry with Jimmy G and the rest of the QB room, or because I felt like Moore was trying to do that? But those QBs there in Moore's tenure weren't great.
But at the end of the day, Garrett Wilson produced. Tyler Conklin produced. People would still put up numbers in that offense. Elijah Moore's got to do that if he wants to be that guy. Now, with how ugly that is, feeds into your point. Was it Elijah Moore? Was it quarterbacks? Elijah Moore had some of the best target separation of any quarterback or any wide receiver in the league last year. Mm-hmm. And when he was on the field, he broke away and had terrible balls thrown to him. And you can't catch terrible balls. Like that's just the reality of the situations. He was in a proverbial doghouse. When he did play, he looked good, but they couldn't get him the ball. They couldn't get the ball in his hands. And so it was very underwhelming in terms of the box score. What do we see as fantasy managers? What do we see as NFL fans? His stat lines aren't impressing anymore.
His attitude towards his teammates was fucked up. And I'm not going to throw you either.
That's the problem. We've talked a little. I feel like this theme of tonight's show could be ego, and how does that affect NFL players?
Take.
But what do you do with Elijah Moore's ego?
The Broncos signed Goodwin.
So I'm a little nervous because there aren't many wide receivers that follow the path, the career arc that we've already seen from Elijah Moore. Early draft capital, a breakout in his rookie season, injury, year 2 not producing despite no injuries and playing most of the season and being in the coach's proverbial doghouse and then traded. Can you name anyone that succeeded after something like that?
No,
you don't just fall backwards year 2 and regress and come back year 3 and play great and continue on your ascending career arc. It doesn't happen.
It's very Antonio Callaway-ish.
Okay, describe that. Go on.
Or like John Ross. It's very John Ross. Like in the essence where it's like felt that they were worth more than what they had actually produced and what they were actually doing, and began, kind of being immediate problems where teams kind of started telling them, "Hey, don't go to that person's locker, please." And I'm starting to see that with Moore. From the standpoint of his fantasy impact, I don't think that he'll be on a Rumboyz Robbie roster. Maybe you see him out of the millions of leagues I'll play in. Maybe you see him on like a couple. It's definitely going to be on the single digits. We'll be able to count it on one hand. I don't see this being a guy that is going to make a fantasy impact. And then I could very well project that the same problems that he had last season in New York are going to follow him, just because I see a guy like Watson with the championship mind and the winning mind. I'm only talking about football. I'm not talking about his pursuits outside of that. I don't see a guy like Watson and a gamer like Watson being like, yeah, I'm going to put up with that shit. I don't see a veteran like Amari Cooper not being like, bro, if you do not stop and if you try and slander me in the media, I'm going to smack you. Like, I don't see a guy like that. I don't. And then also with the Browns, and often when you send a guy like that to the Browns, it's so that they can fall the fuck off a cliff. We've seen this episode before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out.
I like what the Jets got in return. I like that early second round pick.
Did the Browns get Goodwin?
I don't know. That's such a free agent signing that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah,
I don't anticipate he'll be a wide receiver like 4 on a team, and I honestly don't care. Like it's a better NFL move than it is fantasy, and even from an NFL standpoint, there's plenty of guys that can do the exact same shit.
He's
no disrespect, disrespect to him, because he's a fine NFL player. It's a move that I don't care about. There's so much stuff going on in the NFL that I can't use.
It's a jag. Energy. It's a jag. It's just a guy move. It's just a guy. I feel like that's a perfect way for us to kind of get ready for halftime. Anything else that you kind of want to touch on with the Elijah Moore situation?
I mean, it's fresh start for him, so he's got the opportunity to decide how is this going to go. And on a team like the Browns, where I think their identity and how they play offense is going to shift this year from what we've seen in the past, we're going to see a push to a pass first team versus a run first team. You now have 3 wide receivers that are capable of doing something with the ball. And that puts them in a much better spot than they were last year with Jacoby Brissett under center. Now you actually have a team. You actually have a team around Deshaun Watson in an off season to prepare.
I still don't think they have a team really. I think that roster is fucking ugly from the top to bottom. I think that roster is doomed to walk in shit stains. I feel like that contract was the stupidest fucking thing ever at the quarterback position.
They're in a shitty spot. Yeah, but I think from a skill position standpoint, I'm okay with running that Deshaun Watson out there with Amari Cooper, Moore, Peoples-Jones, Nick Chubb, and whoever the fuck their tight end is.
I don't know if this team gets...
Oh, Njoku.
Yeah, Njoku. I don't know if this team gets above 500. And if they get above 500, it's by the skin of their fucking teeth.
We'll have to wait and see for that. But then again, it is just March 24th. There's a whole lot of things that can happen before opening day.
Si, senor. All
right, let's go into halftime.
Let's get into halftime, ladies and gentlemen.
Before I say some more stupid shit.
I'm feeling a little reggaeton vibes. I got the Modelo Negro. So let's go ahead and let's get into that touchdown. A touchdown.
Hop out in Miami when I'm land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, don't turn me up, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop CLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, when you're not.
We're pros.
What puts a smile on your face? Tell me the truth. What really makes you happy? What really makes you move? Never giving up when life gets too hard. Right around the corner, it's a brand new start. Feels like we're riding on a roller coaster. Getting so far when I'm getting closer. Life is all about all the ups and the downs. Take your medicine, stop falling around. Never take yourself too seriously. Laugh at the world, let living be free. Why don't more people try to take life slow? Why is everybody so impossible? When I speak my mind, no, I tell no lies. Once upon I laughed so hard that I cried. Does it really matter at the end of the day? As long as you live your life and feel happy, but don't hold you down or make you strong. Come on everybody, won't you sing this song? Smiles on face. We're putting smiles on faces. It's a long, long road and it's taking me home. It's been a long, long day, still I got a ways to go. I don't feel like we're getting much older. I feel so alive, but not that much closer. Keep pushing out when times get tough. Even when the storm comes, the waves get rough. Our love is greater than the deep blue sea. What's going around, it's come around, it's following me. Ain't it funny how things fall into place sometimes, yeah. The shadow follows you when the sun don't, yeah. When the sun don't shine. Some people spend their whole lives living in their head. I say listen to your heart instead. Keep searching for a lifetime, waiting for a sign. Something gives me hope it'll be alright. All the girls in the world live across the sea. What a wonderful swimmer, yes you know that I'd be in that crazy world going crazy. Your smile saved me. When everything changes, I know we're gonna make it, yeah. I know we're gonna make it. Smiles on faces. We're putting smiles on faces. Smiles on faces. We're putting smiles on faces. Smiles on faces.
Welcome back to Rumboyz After Dark, ladies and gentlemen. We had to get a little jam band going, you know.
Why did that song feel like it could be on like Guitar Hero like World Tour or something?
Dude, I so want that game to come back.
Like
you just said that.
Smiles on faces.
Bro, that would be so lit. With me on the drums in the
Yellow,
back.
green, blue, do.
Oh my gosh, yes. Big shout out to the homie Cody Shepard and his band Eyes of All. Greatly appreciate you, brother. I just dropped a shout out for you out there on the book. Yo, being that we are kind of, I guess, based out of Colorado, we are going to talk a little bit of Denver Broncos. They've been in the news lately. This first topic, no other than the badass freaking lineman himself, Derek Wolfe, came out today and said that his routine, and I quote, I'm actually going to throw this up there so that I get this correct. Before games, his pregame routine was, before games, I was taking microdoses of shrooms. This is shrooms, so you microdose shrooms. I was taking microdoses, so on microdose, I'm fucking taking shrooms and fucking Adderall before I play. Also, he stated that once upon a time, he was paralyzed following a game, and the Broncos staff literally was like, "You're good," and sent him back out there for the following week. Thoughts on how much of a complete badass this man is, and if you were a player, what would your pregame routine be, and what is the craziest pregame routine you've ever heard of?
I feel like there's so much cap in this story.
You know, Viagra?
Like honestly,
I don't know if I want to be rocked up at the bottom of a dog pile.
There's so much here.
God, please save me.
I'm calling cap on it. I'm calling cap on like 85% of the story. There's no, you weren't actually paralyzed for like 3 hours the same week as a game. No.
Was it like 3 hours or 3 days? It was something insane.
Yeah, I'm calling full cap. Like, no, you weren't. Like, no, you don't have a girlfriend that goes to another school. Like, come on, bro. We don't believe you on this.
I don't know. Like we've seen NFL trainers do some wild shit. Like this is the same sport that'll inject you with fucking horse semen and be like, "All right, there's a lot of Toadorol. Now get the fuck back out there." This is the same sport. When Washington had Trent Williams, it was like, "Yeah, we're gonna ignore the cancer." Like, homie had a tumor on his brain. Like, I mean, I could see it.
It wasn't on your show sheet, but did you see who got diagnosed with cancer today?
Who?
Or yesterday?
Who?
Foster Moreau diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Hodgkin's lymphoma.
During his physical with, I believe, the New Orleans Saints. Like, I'd much rather talk to this and like the seriousness of this versus a story that I think is full cap. Like if you're smoking microdosing on shrooms and Adderall, go for it.
Do you? Like we've heard of players do like wild shit, like drink Hennessy before a game and shit like that. Like we've heard it all.
Take a shot to ease yourself up and to loosen yourself up so you can take a hit a little bit better, but you're still fully aware of what's going on. Everyone's gonna have their own pregame routines. Like I can think of guys in high school that would run around the locker room naked and do some stupid shit. Like, but
I don't want to know, but I want to know. I kind of, what the fuck?
I went to a small Christian school. It wasn't nothing bad.
Foster Monroe, our thoughts and prayers are with you. and your family. Definitely something serious to have to deal with.
I hope he comes back to the league stronger than
I think he
ever.
will. I think he will.
Yeah.
It'll be a very much Eric Berry type of situation. I'll go ahead and I'll give my pregame routine. This is like I've really done this. So I have taken Adderall before a game. I've taken Adderall before a game. It helps you focus. What I would do is I take my Adderall. It was prescribed to me. Don't worry. I'd take my Adderall. I'd have like a couple of shots in like a Gatorade bottle. Take a couple of swigs, and then I'd smoke a blunt. And I'd be so chill, and I'd be so focused. You know, like obviously like the Adderall is there like help you focus. We just to help you relax, like the shots to make sure that like, you know, the couple of swigs is to make sure like I'm about to be in a car crash, so I should make sure that I'm loose enough to fucking sustain it here for like the next 45 minutes to an hour. So that was my pregame routine. Is it advised? No, but when you are in that heavy of a sport, and when George Kittle said it best on I want to quote this Joe right. I can't remember exactly which interview it was. It was during the past week. I had shared it, Pat. So I you know what I'm talking about. This game is so fucking dangerous. It is. You are literally from start to finish in a car crash over and over and over and over again. When Marshawn was like, hey, "Yo, protect your mental, protect your chicken," he wasn't joking about that. I get that was something that we all kind of had laughed off or whatever. The shit's real. The shit's real. So I mean, like I said, we've heard crazy fucking stories before. These players are human, just like us. They are still in their 20s or 30s, just like many of us. You know, and think you're this is a sport that you've been playing and taking these types of hits since fucking Pop Warner. Would I play microdose on shrooms? Probably not. Microdose, maybe, actually. I played on worse things that I won't mention on this show. Like, I've been on the field freaking, like, nose beard up. Like, let's go! Like, straight up. So, I mean, hey. But no, Derek Wolf, you're an absolute badass for that. That's one hell of a regiment. Get at Jake Plummer. You and him can go in this room business together. And that's my take on that. I want to kind of go back. I don't want to just feel like we just completely grazed over the Foster Monroe thing. So I mean, kind of getting back into that, bro. What are your? You already mentioned that you hope he comes back. What are your thoughts surrounding that? Ouch.
I think we can go back and John Mechie, who was second round draft pick, wide receiver for the Houston Texans last year, set out this year. Not a lot of buzz right now with him. I assume he's supposed to be back this year. We'll see
Houston's thinking that he's going to be back. I'm hearing rumors that he's going to be back.
Which I'm more excited for John Mechie to be back than I am for Nico Collins to be back on that team. Like, Nico Collins is dead weight on that team, which I hate to see out of a Michigan wide receiver, but
Matt is going to snap on you out of nowhere soon. Keep going.
Matt can snap on me all he wants. It means engagement for the channel.
Keep going.
Bro, I'm saying this shit off straight water. Like,
he's like, I don't give a fuck.
I get a new microphone. It comes in the mail today, and I'm just suddenly I got the confidence of 10 men walking in here. Like, I can say whatever the fuck I.
The confidence of Derek Wolf off of shrooms and Adderall.
I fancy. Hell yeah. No, it's John Mechie as that wide receiver, like 1-2 in Houston. I hope I hope he's well. I hope he's in good football shape. I think that's the biggest thing that's got to be hard, is to be able to maintain your physical strength,
abilities,
and athleticism, despite sitting out due to cancer, due to sickness and illness.
I mean, we've seen
I don't know how
guys
it
come
feels
back.
after a week of having the flu and not being able to. Yes, absolutely.
What I'll say is,
and it just means he has to work that much harder.
What I'll say is the same thing that we have done for many players when they are going through something. This is a time for us as a football community to come together.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime one of us is dealing with something, it kind of almost feels like we're all dealing with something. Same thing we did with Damar Hamlin. I say that we do with the Foster Monroe. I'll probably get a tweet together, after this podcast, and let's find his charity. Let's find his charity and let's donate. Let's donate to the Foster Monroe charity. I think that would be pretty dope. A player doesn't have to play for your team for you to give a fuck about another human life. This game could take any of us at any moment, whether it's on field or off field. Football's family, so I feel like, let's be there for Foster and his family.
Like, I can't imagine finding out that news during a team physical, and the difference that we see in this situation versus, obviously it's less serious than Damar Hamlin, who basically died on the football field and came back. But, or even Mechie, as we mentioned that, they were signed to teams. Foster Monroe's a free agent. He's alone in this. He doesn't have a team of 53 surrounding him and supporting him and going along that path with him through this process. He's got his natural supports. He's got his family. And whoever from the Las Vegas Raiders are sticking by him through all that. He doesn't have the support of a full organization anywhere. I hope that a team comes along and says, "We got you.
We're going to take care of you." Yeah, or even the league.
That'd be a great thing to see from the Vegas Raiders, as they're looking to adjust their public, how they're perceived in the public, and how they treat their players. That would be an absolute great thing. I'm not expecting it to happen.
Davis have a heart.
Yeah. Let's move forward. Yeah.
Yep. We are. So from we were just talking about the Denver Broncos. We're going to stay on that path here really quick. We kind of talked about this on a couple of episodes ago, but with news coming out today, they signed Nelson Aguilar. They're trying to trade away Judy for a first rounder. Apparently, Judy and Sutton, they went gone. They went out of the building. They've been shopping all of these receivers. Is Judy worth the fucking first round pick in your mind, bro?
Judy is that manager in your dynasty, or the Denver Broncos right now are that manager in your fantasy football league who got hosed on a trade and is trying to hose the rest of the league to make up their own mistake.
Yep. They
traded away so many. They traded away so many assets to acquire Russell Wilson and now Sean Payton. And we all know how I feel about the Sean Payton trade. Felt unnecessary and felt rushed, and it felt like an overpay for me, especially when it hurts your team in the short term right now, with so much draft capital tied up into Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. So now they're left in a place where they don't have much for draft capital. And so we have this wide receiver that we took at 15th overall, and Jerry Jeudy. Be great if we could get something back for him. Let's see if we can get the same round pick that we traded him for, get another guy with another first-round pick that we can have on our team for 4 years, gives us a fifth-year option, and we'll see what we can do with that. You see, but everyone wants those first-round picks. no one's just giving away first-round picks.
No.
Well, unless you're the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are passing them out like the way our parents thought people would be passing out drugs. No one's actually just giving that shit away for free.
Free, like, if you boost it, it's free.
I know how many times I was told, "Hey, don't take drugs from strangers. Don't take drugs from strangers."
And then
you know how
get
many
out
times
here
I've been offered drugs by strangers?
Never.
0.
Never. It's no stranger ever walked up to me and like, no, yeah, you're
Denver.
right.
No one's putting into my Halloween candy. No one's sliding that shit into a Kit Kat.
You're not getting a first round pick.
No one's putting that in a Twizzler.
If this was Jerry
you
Jeudy,
can get a third.
like
Here, have a third.
If this was Bama Jeudy,
if Jerry Jeudy was actually what he was supposed to be, was he deserving to be a first round pick? Hell yeah. But now
coming out of college,
what, 3 years? We're 3 years later, and now you have to pay the man. Then a team's gonna have to pay him. We've already talked on the show about how cap strapped teams are. Who's gonna want to fucking pay him? I don't want him for. I don't feel like any team is a wide receiver of Judy's caliber away from competing. If I'm gonna do that, I might as well go get fucking DeAndre Hopkins and go win.
I don't think that any
and they want it for a second.
Anything that he's done in the NFL is not worth the first round pick. Like his college
tape. So he go blow his hamstring out week 2.
I'm not paying that price for Sutton or Jeudy. They're not worth first round picks. I'll take third rounders. I'll take late seconds. Like
I would say they were also trying to trade Hamler.
Yeah.
Yes, and then he tore his pec during the offseason, so that's done. He'll be back. He'll be back in end of July, August. Like they're trying to compensate. Like they keep doing as we do. Put guy on block, take him off. Put guy on block. People keep getting this notification. Hey, we're still looking. Anyone want Jerry Jeudy? No one fucking wants Jerry Jeudy.
They are literally just putting the trade block button.
Yeah, if you're giving him away, sure, I'll take him. I'd love to have Jerry Jeudy added to my team. But they were trying to trade him last year. What's wrong with Jerry Jeudy that you've been trying to trade him for 2 years?
Yeah, you pick up Nelson Aguilar and Marquez Callaway. Like, come on. Come on, bro. That's who it was. It wasn't good when it was Callaway. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, that fits the Hamler role. If it's like the deep, like the guy that's running the 9 route over and over and over again. But
yeah,
sorry, Denver Broncos make no sense to me, and they're too good to be god awful, but they're too bad to be playoff teams.
I don't think that this team, but I don't know. I don't think this team gets a playoff win in the Russell Wilson Peyton era.
Period. They get 2 years opportunities to do it. It's this year and next year. And if they're not in the playoffs, Russ is gone. I also don't know. I don't know if Russell's legs and his arm make it 2 more years. Like that is a serious concern. In an age where we're talking about quarterbacks going to 36, 37, 38, and into their 40s like Brady, I don't know if Russell Wilson is that guy to continue to play into his upper 30s. He's not that type of passer. He's not that type of body build. Can he prove me wrong? Sure, go for it. I hope he does.
Yeah, he's done it before. Like
I don't hope for anyone to fail, but I don't think he will be that guy to be playing into his upper 30s.
He's so set in his ways now at his age, at how long he's been in the NFL. I don't know if there's something that Sean Payton is going to do to break that. Payton's one hell of a leader of men, but you're not making the moves right now for Russell Wilson to be profitable, which is going to create an argument of, is it Wilson, is it Payton, or is it just that front office is not recruiting the right way? They're not picking up the right guys.
It's Wilson and I want to see Hard Knocks.
Give me Denver.
I want to see him kicked out of his office. I want to see them painting over his parking spot at the facility. I want to see all that shit. I want to see them walking out the guys that were his special coaches with pink slips in their hands as they get fired.
I think it's something new. I don't even think it's Les Ride anymore. He came up with something different. It was equally as corny. It was equally as corny. Yeah, no, give me Broncos Hard Knocks. Give me Denver Broncos Hard Knocks. To your point, I need to see the ins and outs of this shit because it's a fucking debacle.
Also, back to Jerry Jeudy. How do you think Jerry Jeudy feels in all this? This team's trying to trade him away for the last 2 years. Like,
and he has no value.
And now and everyone's saying no. And so you're going to go and show up to this team that's been trying to get you off the payroll. They don't want to pay you. You're on a prove-it deal, but you're also a first rounder.
I like that.
I wouldn't mind it.
Oh wait, Nelson Aguilar went to the Ravens, not even the fucking Broncos. Damn it!
It was another old wide receiver. If should another team get Lamar, I could see them sending potentially a pick back to get Jeudy. That would be something that could happen.
Yeah.
Now, here's a fun question. Last year on draft day, Marquise Brown was traded for a first-round pick. Which wide receiver is better, Marquise Brown or Jerry Jeudy?
I probably would take Marquise.
Okay.
I
slightly lean as a full NFL wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy. That's not to say that the trade that the Ravens made was the right one, because I feel like it was right for the Ravens because they sold high on Marquise Brown and got the best deal possible for him.
If I'm working with the likes of Jerry Jeudy, Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman,
I can make do with that.
Yeah, I feel like you can make do with that. But
you have two first round wide receivers.
Hell, this is perfect for us to be able to segue into that topic, I guess. But like that memo that came out this week, bro. I guess Ken Francis was rumored that he was gonna fucking be representing Lamar as an agent, but it's not a certified agent. So the NFL put out a memo that was unnecessary. Whole time, all that Lamar and Francis, they're business partners, and they're releasing a whole total gem. It's like type system. Lamar went off on Tom Pelissero, was like, yo, like, stop making up shit. And Pelissero was kind of like the one that forced like the NFLPA and the league to have to put out this memo because of his false report and his false news. Situation just getting out of hand at this point. Like, at what point do sources need to just maybe give these players a little bit of room to speak for themselves?
Yes. Players need to have that space for themselves. However, you and I both are in the social media space.
And so that gym is
what would it do for either of us to be able to break any of this shit and to break news on this shit? What would it mean for this channel to be able to break news with sources?
Yeah.
Like, that matters. That's make or break stuff for your career. And as long as that's the case, and where being first is more important than being right, we're not going to have privacy for these players in the contract proceedings and in any of the news regarding this. And it's going to
blocking us out.
Yeah, essentially that's the next step is, all right, I can't trust anyone. So it's me and it's my tiny circle. And if If someone's snitching in my circle, they're out too.
Yeah.
But I think that's harder with players that work with an agency and work with an NFL agent, because one of the bargaining chips is, all right, you're not wanting to play ball with this player. Well, when so-and-so's contract comes up, I guess we won't be looking this way. And suddenly they're withholding other players, and you have that union type leverage a little bit of what does this look like in the future between this NFL agent and NFL teams and everyone that they represent. Are you okay? Are they okay with making those deals and pushing people out? So it's a hell of a lot easier to push out Lamar Jackson as an individual. There's no repercussions beyond the Lamar Jackson contract negotiations than it is to push away Scott Boras. What does it look like if you push away Scott Boras next year in free agency? And
Rich Paul, Clutch Sports Group is a scam. Is it though? Like, Rich Paul's gotten a lot of players paid. I'd say Drew Rosenhaus is more fucking scam artist, if anything. You bring up valid points. I feel like there's
so much.
There's a borderline of I have to have journalistic integrity. And I can have journalistic integrity and still respect your space and privacy at the same time. If I don't know all of the facts, then I shouldn't be running around and reporting something. And I get that sometimes a source could come to you and tell you something that's inaccurate, and like it's happened. It's happened to me before. I'm like, hey, this was going to happen, and then we find out something different, very quickly down the line.
They change their mind, or they
exactly.
They might be working off false information or bad information that's changed.
Exactly. So to that point, and thinking like that, and giving Pelissero the benefit of the doubt in that situation, I still feel that it was a situation that you're such a big name source that you dropping something like that, and then it in turn triggering the league and the PA to put out this memo over something that is completely false. Ken Francis equals Dove Kleiman. It's essentially is what that was. Goddamn, great fucking analogy. That is not. It didn't hold enough. It didn't hold enough weight. And then Lamar had already said that they were going to be announcing a fucking business thing on their YouTube and shit. Anyways, like the cat was already out the bag. Look, if Lamar is going to have anyone negotiate for him, if the name is not Miss Jackson, whoo, I am for real, then it's probably not happening. If it's not coming from Lamar, and if it's not coming from Lamar's mama at this point, and if it ain't Schefter or Rappaport that's saying it, I'm kind of blocking and tuning anyone and everyone else out. And I think that's what everyone else has to do. Lamar will let us know. The Ravens will let us know. It will shatter the fucking world when it happens. Let's stop with the fucking speculating and the bullshit. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
For the league to have to take time away from other shit they were doing to have to print out that memo because someone like us said some dumb shit is fucked up.
Sorry, I've got the Creighton game on in the background and just.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
And just got Princeton player just got posterized. Damn.
He said, damn. But other than that, that actually is tonight's show. We get to get off a little bit early. tonight. Is there anything else that you want to add? You want to toss in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see things that I need to discuss. So not only am I working with the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, I've been working with Tyler, the fantasy football creator, and have been on his Tuesday shows lately. So check us out there. Getting great reception there. So we built the mic skills with the Rumboyz and are over there on another show that can't be canceled because they run their shit themselves. And we'll have to get some people on and really break down Dynasty fantasy football there. So I've been having a lot of fun over there, and you can still keep finding me here on the Rumboyz. I ain't leaving. Kick me out. You can't make me walk the plank.
No.
Maybe put me under the deck, but you can't kick me out. I ain't leaving.
We're gonna fucking tie you to the front mast.
I mean, as long as I can keep my microphone, like I'm happy with this, and it's the confidence, and I can speak all my shit. I can speak all my truth, and ain't no one can tell me to shut up.
Shut up, exactly. Yeah, like we do whatever we want. Like getting off early tonight. To our sponsors that do help, keep the lights on here. We do love you and appreciate you. We will make sure that we fulfill our full contractual obligation next week. But fuck it. Like I'll eat this one. I'll deal with this one. That's a great thing about being the CEO is I can say, hey, I got you on the flip side. Don't worry. Look for Rumboyz Sportsbook Live to come back next week. This week got just a little hectic. I'm gonna be honest, didn't even get hectic. I got sick from like Monday to Wednesday. I didn't have a voice. You can't really run a sportsbook show without being able to talk.
It's gonna be fun once we get into April, when we get into playoff basketball, playoff hockey, all going at the same time.
And we got baseball.
We have live betting on baseball. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real. Be ready to get going on it. How are you feeling about the pitch clock?
I'm excited.
I'm loving it. I'm excited. I'm hating baseball old heads right now that are complaining just for the sake of complaining, and it's annoying me up the fucking wall. And I'm ready to say fuck them. I don't care about them.
But you and I both know this that we are the most open-minded and progressive sports show probably in our industry. There's not a lot of shows will get caught up in that old guard mindset. So you bring up that valid point. I'm excited for it. People shouldn't be afraid of it. Baseball purists, let your fucking nuts hang, bro. For real.
If you love the game, let it be shared with the next generation. Don't get to the point where you're protecting it so much and you're clutching your pearls that you've pushed away an entire generation and your game fucking dies.
Yeah,
because you're on the verge of that. This is a life-saving move for the game.
The World Baseball Classic just saved this upcoming season's ass when it came to viewers.
Yes, it did. The basketball shot clock saved basketball when it was first implemented. Let this be a good thing. Is it going to feel awkward at first? Maybe at the end. You know how often it's being implemented so far in the minor leagues? How many pitches it affects? Roughly 1.5 every 300.
And you know what? To be honest, I want to see the pitchers sweat a little bit to make their fucking decision. No, bro, you need to get up there and decide how the fuck you're going to get this over the plate to Mookie. Like,
and pitch com is a thing. Signals are being sent very quickly. You're in constant communication. It's so much better than it used to be. You don't need to shake off your catcher 4 times.
Yeah. No,
you don't need to throw over the football. You don't need to throw over the first 6 times before throwing the third pitch of the at bat.
And it's going to make steals so much more exciting.
I'm excited for bases. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the bigger bases.
Let's go. I
need to get my Tigers chain.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm excited to see that. I'm very excited to see that.
Let me pull it out. I haven't worn it
Oh,
yet.
you got it?
Yeah, I haven't worn it yet.
Very first look at the
That's
Tigers
shame.
chain, guys. Very first look at a Tigers chain. We have not seen one of these live yet. Are you gonna rock the hat to go with it? For those who don't know, the Detroit Tigers hat is very historic, very meaningful baseball cap. Very meaningful baseball cap. Shout out them Pudge Rodriguez days. Dog. Put it up again real quick. Yo, that shit was sick. Oh, I
also
like
they also
that.
have one that has like a blue outline to it that looks
Mhm.
sick as hell, but it's like an extra like $20. Both worth it.
I like that. I like that. That's fucking sexy.
They got GLD's got some good shit.
Exactly. You
Like,
guys got to get over there.
Like I never thought I'd be someone who want to wear necklaces. Like it's not an everyday thing for me, but you know what? On the weekends, I'll chill out with it, watch a game
Go to a
with
game
it.
with
Like,
it. Yeah, exactly. It's pride. It's pride. It's team pride.
for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Rumboyz After Dark. I'm Rumboyz Robbie. That's my brother St. Pat FF. Ladies and
Oh, I
gentlemen,
looked the
we
wrong
love and
way.
appreciate.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we love and appreciate you. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What to do, dilly dilly. We will see you next week for Rumboyz Sportsbook Live.